Full moon in Aries, October 9th, 2022. What's up? My name's Kelsey, and I'm here today to talk to you about this upcoming full moon, what it represents, what energy is it bringing to Earth, and ultimately how you can move through this energy with ease and grace and not be afraid of a full moon. So what I love so much about the Aries energy, the full moon in Aries, is I think about why I started these videos. And I started these videos to share more of my wisdom when it comes to astrology. And I know a lot of people resonate with the words that I say. And Aries represents it represents yourself, and it can be confidence. It's more Leo energy, but it's about putting yourself in action into the world. So celebrating that, and any actions you've taken this year or even in the last 6 months, they might start to come to I don't want to say completion, but you might be really feeling the receiving mode of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. Like you've been committed to something, or just working on yourself, and or sharing more about yourself with the world, whatever actions you've been taking, and when it comes to yourself and how you literally physically move through the world. So that's Aries energy. It's really coming to, this illumination, and it's a really beautiful invitation at this time to sort of recognize yourself, recognize your growth, recognize your commitments, and just celebrate yourself, really, is what a full moon in Aries is about. So we are in Libra season, and Libra season's so beautiful to find balance in your life, between how you do show up and sort of physically take action, and really start to receive that energy, and give and receive love, and just create more equilibrium in your life. So that's a big part of what this full moon generally represents. Now, you can always check where 16 degrees of Aries and Libra is in your chart, because that's where this full moon is at 16 degrees. So if you want to know specifically where in your chart this is affecting you and what energies are being activated, and by that I mean what house. A house always represents your area, a specific area of life. So there's 12 houses, everybody has it, everybody has all the signs in their chart. So if you want to know what this moon is activating for you, what house is 16 degrees of Libra and Aries. And if you don't know how to look up your chart, I do have a free Essentials Astrology Guide, which you can find at the link below this video or post. And it will teach you how you can look up your chart and find that. So feel free to enjoy. Now, what I do see with the specifics of this full moon of 2022 is that beautifully the sun will be conjunct Venus, which is beautiful. Venus is Libra energy. The sun is just accentuating, highlighting it. So extra Libra energy, but that opposes the moon in Aries. And the moon is actually conjunct Chiron. And this is the asteroid that represents our sensitive side, our insecurities, and where we feel less than, and just it's called the wounded healer. So it's where you feel wounded inside, usually, or wherever in your experience. Ideally, your wounds physically are healed pretty swiftly, but when it comes to emotional or psychological, spiritual wounds, like those definitely need some tending to, and everyone comes into this life with a Chiron in their chart, and it shows you where a lot of your healing is in this life. So I feel this is a very healing full moon. So the moon and Chiron are together. So not only is this a good time to sort of reflect on yourself and what you've how you've been moving through the world in the last 6 months, meaning since the new moon in Aries, but it's also a full moon that could be bringing up some sensitivities. So our emotions may be heightened at this time. And yeah, that's simply put. It kind of just adds a level of really bringing up old stuff about ourselves where we don't feel whole, where we don't feel in balance, where we don't feel connected, where we are not giving ourselves love. So that's just a really beautiful invitation to really like pay attention to what's up in your life and what thoughts are you having, like what thoughts and mindsets and sort of patterns are you experiencing in the days leading up to this full moon and after, but certainly before, and just let yourself feel them all and let it move through you. And a huge theme that I noted for this moon is just give yourself all the love that you need. Like give it all to yourself. Like, yes, it's nice to receive love from others, but we have to do it for ourselves first, really, in order to be able to attract more love from the outside world, because everything is an inside job first. So definitely give yourself that extra TLC and just take care of yourself at this time. The other thing to note about this moon is Mars will be squaring Pisces fairly exact. So it's a pretty tight square, and that just essentially means it's because Mars is in Gemini, and that's very intellectual, and Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces, which is all about intuition and all about, I guess it's intuition. So when the intellect and the intuition are kind of squaring off, I feel that there's some confusion within ourselves, within our experience, and we're not really sure which way to go. And I think that this moon is going to sort of highlight where we're not trusting, not even sure which voice to listen to, because you have your sort of automatic mind that often explains, articulates information in just a usual way, but there's a deeper whisper, and that's your intuition. And this is really where you can see Pisces energy coming in. This also is connection to guides and guidance. So I think that at this time, and it depends on your experience. Maybe this moon is asking you to just pay attention to a few more details, and not be too off in the clouds and whimsical and not paying attention. Or, I mean, are you overthinking things right now? And do you need to just lean back and trust and surrender? So that's definitely a theme at this time. And then for the month of October, but it's definitely peaking at this full moon, is Saturn squaring Uranus. This is a theme that we went through all of 2021, and this is just the peak of it in this year, and it won't happen again for a long time, which is nice. But this energy is, it's really about us feeling like we're ready for this breakthrough, but there's still obstacles. There's still limitations. Saturn is still asking us to just be a little bit more patient, and just do a little, and just kind of be okay. So Saturn's like, okay, patience, but then Uranus is like, hey, sometimes there are surprises. So it's like, I feel that this Saturn-Uranus square is like really showing us where as a collective, we're just like in just limited structures and making life harder than it needed to be. And Uranus is coming in being like, we gotta like break this mold and start fresh. So this is kind of the last of that energy. It's a slow transit, so it's still going to be lingering, but nonetheless, won't get too deep into that, but that's also peaking at this time. So on a personal level, even within your emotions, like just be patient. Honestly, just be patient, but be open for surprises, because that's Uranus. So I did pull 2 cards as usual. So I pulled an oracle from Starseed Oracle and a tarot from Soul Cards Tarot, and really beautiful. The oracle I pulled was Perspective. So if you are watching the video, you can see that this card is Earth zoomed out in the middle of the universe. So this is about zooming out, like just literally like all these bits and pieces in your life, and these like confusing moments and these uncomfortable things. Like at the end of the day, like we're still just like a speck in the universe, and this stuff I get it. There's so many layers to it and stuff can be hard, but also like we're only here for a short time. So perspective. So even though there's a lot of tension around this full moon, just don't worry. Like we're gonna be okay. And then the oracle card I pulled, tarot card, was the Temperance card. And this is really beautiful. It's very like Libra energy. It's about just like taking care of yourself, but also recognize, like it's kind of everything I spoke about already. It's like give yourself love, be easy on yourself, and really take care of yourself. It feels, it's like got a slight twinge of Virgo energy here, and I think that's just because Mercury is something to know in this chart too, just with the other, all dancing around all of the other planets. But nonetheless, Mercury and Virgo, it's like, okay, focus your attention like just on taking care of yourself, just cleaning up your day-to-day life. Like don't get too overwhelmed with the things, and just come back to the present and give yourself have a bath or something, you know? Okay, so I just looked at the timer. It was 11:11, so that feels complete. If you have any questions, comments, drop them below. Send me a message, email, anything. Here to help you, here to spread more awareness around our cosmic existence. So sending so much love, and we will see you at the next moon.